Liverpool's recent victory against Brentford has showcased not only the individual brilliance of players like Darwin Núñez, but also the tactical depth that manager Arne Slot has at his disposal. The late goals that secured all 3 points were the result of intelligent use of substitutes, highlighting the growing strength of Liverpool's squad. While Núñez grabbed the headlines with his 2 goals, it was the collective contributions from Harvey Elliott and Federico Chiesa that were instrumental in breaking the deadlock and securing the win. Substitutes that made an impact. Arne Slot's tactical acumen is becoming increasingly apparent, particularly when it comes to his use of substitutes. Against Brentford, Slot's bench options played crucial roles in the team's eventual success. The introduction of Darwin Núñez, Harvey, Elliott and Federico Chiesa in the second half proved to be a game-changer. Núñez's 2 goals were undoubtedly the highlight of the match. However, it is important not to overlook the contributions of Elliott and Chiesa, both of whom made vital impacts in their own right. Elliott was directly involved in both goals, first providing the pre-assist for Núñez's opener and later setting up the second with a perfectly weighted pass. His performance was one that Slot praised highly, making sure to highlight the impact Elliott had, despite the focus on Núñez's brace. Every time I said, "Yeah, but don't forget Harvey. He had a big impact on both goals as well," Slot mentioned after the game. "It's so nice for us as a team that I have players that can impact the game on the bench as well." Elliott's influence was not just on the ball, but in his ability to make the right decisions in critical moments. The 20-year-old's impact was crucial, and his confidence seems to be growing as he continues to make a mark in the Premier League. Chiesa, although not directly involved in either of the goals, also had an important role to play. The Italian winger was energetic throughout his time on the pitch, constantly pressing, tracking back to win the ball, and making intelligent decisions when he had possession. Chiesa's dynamism and work rate have been standout features since his arrival at Liverpool, and it is clear that he is beginning to settle into the side. His recent goal in the FA Cup, a vital contribution, has no doubt boosted his confidence, and his all-around performance against Brentford further underlined his importance to the team. Slot's praise for his players was not limited to just Elliott, but his comments underscored the collective strength of his squad. The fact that Liverpool has several players on the bench capable of changing the game is a luxury that many of their Premier League rivals, including Arsenal, do not share. With these kinds of players at his disposal, Slot has a wealth of options. For different match scenarios, a competitive edge over Arsenal-Liverpool's strength in depth has provided them with a significant advantage in the Premier League. Slot's tactical flexibility and the ability to call upon quality substitutes gives Liverpool a double title advantage over their closest rivals, Arsenal. This was evident in Arsenal's disappointing draw against Aston Villa, where they were pegged back after taking a 2-goal lead. Mikel Arteta's side now finds themselves in a difficult position, having dropped crucial points yet again after looking comfortable in the match. The Gunners, despite their impressive squad, do not seem to have the same level of depth that Liverpool can rely on. While Arsenal has performed well in the league, their inability to hold on to a commanding lead against Villa highlights a vulnerability that Liverpool has been able to avoid. When comparing squad depth, Liverpool's bench is brimming with quality options, while Arsenal's lack of substitutes capable of making a substantial impact may become a problem over the course of the season. Arsenal's struggles in Europe also reflect their lack of depth. While they remain in contention for a spot in the knockout rounds, Arsenal's 5-point deficit to Liverpool in European competition has left them with little margin for error. With just a 1-point buffer to Borussia Dortmund, Arsenal must secure victories against teams like Dinamo Zagreb and Girona to ensure qualification. Their squad depth will be tested further in these important fixtures, and without the luxury of being able to make impactful substitutions, they could struggle against tougher opponents. European competitions. A look at Liverpool's dominance. Liverpool's position in European competitions further reinforces their advantage over Arsenal. While Arsenal is still in the hunt for European glory, they face the reality of being 5 points behind Liverpool in the standings, with the latter already in a comfortable position to progress to the knockout stages without needing to fight. through the playoff round. For Liverpool, this gives them a unique opportunity to rotate their squad, experimenting with different lineups and keeping their players fresh for the rigors of both domestic and international football. In contrast, Arsenal, with a thinner squad, will likely face increased pressure as the season progresses, particularly in European competition. This difference in squad management could prove crucial in determining the outcome of both the Premier League title race and European ambitions. The luxury of squad rotation, one of the significant benefits of having such a strong and deep squad, is the ability to rotate players without weakening the team. Slot's confidence in his substitutes allows him to make changes with minimal drop in performance, a stark contrast to what we see at Arsenal. The likes of Curtis Jones and Diogo Jota, once fully fit, will only add to Liverpool's already impressive depth. It is a testament to the team's strength that players like Nunez, Elliott and Chiesa, who might not regularly start for the Reds, are still capable of coming off the bench and changing the game. In addition to the key contributions of Nunez, Elliott and Chiesa, players like Jota and Jones provide further options for Slot, who is able to rest key players when necessary without sacrificing the quality of performance. This kind of squad rotation can be crucial in maintaining high levels of performance throughout the season, particularly when it comes to dealing with injuries or suspensions. For Arsenal, the situation is different. Their squad depth is stretched, and they are more reliant on a smaller group of key players. This has left them vulnerable in certain areas, especially when dealing with injuries or fatigue. Arteta's reliance on his starting youngs is evident, and without the option to call upon quality substitutes, Arsenal's title aspirations could be severely affected as the season progresses. Transfer talk, Liverpool's strength in the market there. Is always speculation about potential transfers, and both Arsenal and Liverpool are frequently linked with new signings. While it is understandable that Liverpool's squad could be further strengthened, the truth is that they are already in a stronger position than most Premier League teams. The level of competition within the squad ensures that every player knows they must perform at their best, as the bench is packed with players ready to take their place if needed. For Arsenal, on the other hand, strengthening the squad should be a priority, particularly when it comes to adding depth to their attacking and defensive options. With injuries mounting and the competition intensifying, Arsenal's squad will be tested in ways Liverpool's will not. This is where Liverpool holds a distinct advantage. Their depth allows for greater flexibility in terms of personnel and tactics, ensuring that they are in a far stronger position to compete on multiple fronts. Conclusion: Arne Slot's tactical genius is evident in how he has used Liverpool's squad depth to its fullest potential. The ability to call upon substitutes like Nunez, Elliott and Chiesa, who can all make a significant impact, is a luxury that Arsenal does not currently have. Liverpool's strength in depth, combined with their excellent management in Europe and the Premier League, gives them a significant advantage over Arsenal. As the season progresses, this depth will continue to serve Liverpool well, both domestically and internationally. Arsenal, despite their own impressive squad, will need to improve their depth if they are to challenge Liverpool's dominance, especially as the season enters its more demanding stages. The difference in squad strength between these two teams could be the decisive factor in determining who lifts the Premier League and who progresses further in Europe.